What did I say?
During the meanwhilest.
During the meanwhilest. No, I don't like that at all.
Well, hello. It's the Pupster. Pupster and me, back with yet more Tech Tuesday tech-liciousness treats to feast your eyes upon. And in this week's video, I want to take a look at those little accessories that just make using your camera, whether for shooting stills or video, just that little bit easier and less stress inducing. Now, some of these may seem obvious and some less so, but they are the little things I've accumulated over the years that seem to help me at least have a better time when shooting with my cameras. Now, let's look at stuff that you would stick to the camera itself first. And first up is the ever so humble L bracket. Now, these are absolutely essential, I feel, if you shoot on a tripod and regularly change your camera's orientation. An L bracket allows you to level your tripod and camera just the once, and then when you want to go from landscape to portrait, it's simply a case of loosening the tripod plate and swapping the orientation over. It's much better than moving the tripod head, and it keeps the camera's center of gravity stable. Now, you can get brackets custom made to suit virtually all makes of cameras, that leave ports and doors, etc., freely available, or more universal ones to do the job, along with something to suit all budgets. And I always keep a cheap pig iron L bracket in my stills camera bag, so I know I've always got one with me. Now, there are new brackets on the market that act just like a tripod collar you'd find on larger telephoto lenses. They do look like a good viable alternative to an L bracket, and while not widely available and therefore relatively expensive for now, I'm sure that as soon as more manufacturers get in on the act, then the price will come down as camera and lens compatibility goes up. Watch this space, I guess. Next up is those extra grips you can fit. Now, with a trend towards smaller and smaller cameras, you can be left wondering sometimes how you can keep hold of the thing. Well, some more custom L brackets, like the one I got on my X-T4 filming this, will come with built-in beefier grips, which are very, very handy. But I like to use mine in conjunction with a little hot shoe mounted thumb grip. Now, even on its own, this little thumb grip provides a lot of extra stability when hand holding my camera. And again, you can get universal ones, or like mine, ones made to fit your camera specifically. Leading on from that, then, is a soft shutter release. Now, if your camera, like my Fuji's, has one of those threaded shutter releases that can accept a screw-in remote release, they can be a little uncomfortable to use and make it difficult to get a good positive action with your shutter finger. I like to employ a small little wooden button that screws into the shutter to afford a larger surface area for my finger to find and operate, while giving a much more positive action, I find, to the shutter itself. And you can get them in a plethora of bright or subdued finishes to match either your camera or your personality. Also, then you've got like remote shutter releases. Now, continuing along this shutter line, if you like taking longer exposures or want to try and eliminate any form of camera shake, then while not essential, after all, your camera will have a shutter delay mode or built-in self-timer, a remote release will give you more control over the timing of your shutter firing. This I find particularly useful when shooting seascapes, and the timing of a wave then is quite crucial. Again, you can get really simple ones that screw into your threaded shutter button or plug into a port on your camera, right through to complex and more expensive ones that will offer extra functionality, like say an intervalometer for time lapses. An absolute essential for me is a screen protector. Now, I'm sure if you're familiar with those really frustrating glass or film screen protectors that go on your mobile phone screen and leave loads of bubbles, well, they are also available to protect your camera's delicate, expensive and often exposed rear LCD screen. And when I buy a new camera, this is more often than not the first accessory I'll buy, and will fit it before taking my camera out for the first time. I haven't found they have a real adverse effect on touchscreen functionality, and even if they do, it's a small price to pay. You can even get them for your camera's top plate LCD if it has one, and in my opinion, as I said, they are an absolute must. Right, next up is the humble little bubble level. Now, again, this is an absolute must for landscape or architectural shooters. Even if your camera has a built-in on-screen level, they can be less than accurate sometimes. Well, essentially, if you rely on getting things right at time of capture, rather than relying on a software fix. They fit into your camera's hot shoe mount and provide an easy manual method for leveling your camera, even when you've got your tripod level. There's nothing worse, I find, than looking at an image with a wonky horizon, and this tiny and cheap little fix will help make sure that you keep yours straight. Next up is a secure camera strap or wrist cuff. Now, if you want to keep your camera on your person and ready to shoot, then an around the neck strap, over the shoulder string, or a wrist cuff is one method of, three methods of doing so. Your camera will come with its own strap. Just make sure you do install it properly. As I have seen cameras, not mine, but I have seen cameras slip out of their straps. Or you can buy any number of third-party strap alternatives. And I've got two straps. I've got a Black Rapid sling, which I've had for years and is great, and I got a Peak Design strap, which I bought recently to complement the accessory I'll come on to next. Now, I found these to be much more comfortable than the Fujifilm ones that came with any of my cameras. But whatever you decide on strap-wise, make sure it's capable of holding the weight of your camera and your heaviest lens. Now let's these neatly onto the capture clip. Now, if I'm carrying a rucksack or my camera bag, then a strap isn't really a viable proposition, and I rely on a capture clip securely attached to one of my bag straps that I can then simply clip my camera into, and release it when needed. They rely on a small plate that screws into the base plate of your camera, and you can also get ones actually built into an L bracket, and I think it's a three-legged thing that make these, but there might be other ones out there as well. Now, personally, I found this system an absolute revelation, and it's really helped me capture moments I might otherwise have missed while taking my bag off my back and retrieving my camera from it. Again, I've got two types of these, as I usually do. A Peak Design one that is attached to whatever bag I'm carrying, and one made by Falcam that I fitted to my camera strap. Next up, the humble mini tripod. Now, I find it immensely useful to always pack a small tabletop tripod like this one made by Manfrotto. Now, while they won't hold a massive amount of weighty kit, in a pinch they'll hold your gear stable while you might want to take a quick photo or film some video. They're also really invaluable when carrying a small vlogging setup while out filming, and I use mine with my GoPro when I film my nature vlogs. A small LED light. Now, I find this invaluable. I mean, I carry one with me most times when I'm going out shooting in nature or filming, some video. They attach to your camera's hot shoe mount, or you can use them, freestanding, and they provide extra light when needed, obviously. Now, mine is made by Neewer or Newer, whatever they're called, and is quite a simple affair. And while I can adjust the light's brightness, I have to rely on coloured films to change its temperature. Now, of course, depending on your budget, there are much more sophisticated examples available, or you could just carry, a small torch. Although this wouldn't necessarily have any brightness adjustability. But when shooting on a dark woodland floor or to provide some highlights or additional light while filming, I find this little light an absolutely invaluable partner, as is a multi-tool. Now, with all these things that you can attach to your camera or your tripod or whatever, I find having some sort of tool an absolute essential. Now, I used to carry a couple of Allen keys and screwdrivers, but hated having them rattling around loose in my camera bag. And a couple of years ago, my lovely Lisa, my wife, bought me this small rig multi-tool, and I love it. It's really well made and offers everything you need from, you know, Allen keys of all sizes, as well as a flat blade and a Torx bit, all in a handy little carry case. Now I also carry a more versatile outdoor style tool with me, with things like, you know, knife blades, pliers, you know, small saw, you know, things for getting stones out of horses' hooves, that sort of thing, you know. Next up is spare batteries and a charger. Now, although you will get the best possible battery available for your camera in the box when you buy it, there'll only be one, and fewer manufacturers, I know Fuji, are seeing fit to include dedicated chargers these days, preferring to rely on USB-C charging. Now, if then, like me, you shoot outdoors a lot, it pays to invest in at least one spare battery, and it's also handy to get a charger that can handle charging at least 2 batteries at the same time to help make sure you've always got sufficient power at hand. I'd also recommend getting one of those little power bank things to help you charge your gear should the worst happen and you run out of electricity away from home. Next up, a bit of a left field one, but it's my Carabiner, and it's one of, if not the most important accessory I put to use. It's got nothing to do with my camera, but is essential to secure Dexter to my bag and me when I need 2 hands to do something. Now Dexter, right, he's lovely, but he's not the kind of dog to sit and wait patiently while I take a picture. And as his recall is not exactly what you would call, well, acceptable even, I need to keep him attached to me at all times. It's a sort of tethered capture. Right then, those are the accessories I make most use of and find invaluable, or found invaluable over years and years of using cameras to shoot both stills and video. But I'd be really interested to know if you use anything similar, or if you have something that you can't live without while shooting with your camera. Let me know in the comments below. Now, talking of the comments below, I put links to the stuff I use, where I could find one, that is, in the description below, not the comments. Don't panic though, they are not affiliate links, and no money has changed hands in the making of this video either. Okay. Well, that's it for this week's Tech Tuesday video. We hope you enjoyed it. Dexter and I really do appreciate all the views, all the interactions, everything we get to do with our channel. And yeah, we love hearing from you in the comments as well. All that remains for me to say then is my usual: stay safe, stay well, look after yourselves, your loved ones, your little naughty pets, and look after all your little, camera accessories as well. And they will look after you while you're out shooting. All right then, and just be nice. Yeah, be nice. Okay, that's important. And we will see you on the next one. Ta-da.